Hello, welcome to another Will Thunder Talks video. I don't really have a question for today, but the title of this video is going to be I'm Strange, and I want to talk about that a little bit more. So, what do I mean when I say I'm strange? I guess I feel like I've always been a bit of a misfit, and I guess I'm going to create a big line of how I got here. And why the heck I'm even talking about this. So, when I was a wee young little boy, in my Church of England primary school, I knew back then I processed things a little bit differently. I didn't learn the same way as the other kids. I didn't play the same way as the other kids. I didn't socialize the same way as the other kids. And I think part of me really wanted to be like, I guess, in the cool gang, in the gang of kids that were hanging out and being cool. And I guess I didn't really get that. I think I was kind of probably like a strange kid, and people would bully me. I remember being bullied, and then that led to me lashing out, which I'm not proud of, but it happened. And I think it sets a bit of precedent for how I've developed in my understanding of self, how I've understood my own creativity, how I've understood how I see the world and how I process information. And I remember when I was younger, I really, really, really hated music, which is ironic now, because if any of you have seen, I make music on this channel in YouTube Shorts. And I did a little challenge for myself where I made a YouTube short for most of November, not all of November, but most of November. I made a musical idea a day, a sound idea of the day as I called it. So now I love music. I play all kinds of instruments now. I play piano, I play guitar, I play synth, I play ukulele, I play bass, I sing. I do a lot of these things. So what's with the aggressive U-turn, Will? That's already a little bit strange. And to answer that, I guess I would say for many years when I was younger, I really didn't like music because I guess for me, it didn't really speak to my emotional experience. So a lot of the music I was exposed to when I was younger was Britpop, R&B, Yes, Club 7s of the world. I was thinking primary school disco, school disco energy, that kind of stuff. I guess Gorillaz, Demon Days, which was the first album I ever bought. All that kind of stuff was the main music of the time, and I didn't really care for it that much. I didn't like music at all, any type of music. It annoyed me, it irritated me. And I know kind of why now. It's because I didn't feel connected to the group, right? I brought up earlier this idea of not feeling connected to the normal kids. I feel a little strange. I got bullied for being a little weird. So from that, I felt like an outcast, right? I felt othered. And it still hits me a bit emotionally today. I think about the experiences I'm going through that result in certain outcomes that take me back to that place where I feel kind of othered, isolated, like the creep, the goblin in the corner that's been pushed into the corner. And it's just really interesting how those kind of ideas and those threads just carry through with you forever, man. Back to story time. I was a kid and I hate music. And I had a lot of really tough unaliving moments when I was younger, where I tried to unalive myself 7 times between the ages of 8 and 15. And I think this is all because I just felt so different and so othered and isolated, and also other stuff I'm not going to get into for reasons I won't disclose. But I had a lot of challenges. I really didn't feel connected to anyone or a group. And then I kind of found a bit of a group as I kind of was coming up to 15, and I kind of finally found the music that really resonated with me. And it, surprise, surprise, it's kind of music that really hits that tone of, hey, you're a weird dude, that encapsulates that weird dude energy. So for me, back in the day when I was 15, one of the bands that really hit me hard, that I loved, that I cringe at a little bit now, but there's still a place in my heart for them for sure. I really liked bands like Bullet for My Valentine. I really loved bands like Trivium. I really loved bands like Metallica, Flesh God Apocalypse, Iron Maiden. I guess there's something about the heavy metal community for me that was like, these are where the outcasts hang out. These are where the social rejects congregate and have the sermon of disengagement. We make our own little gang away from all the other weird people. Weird people being the normies, right? Like now, like I feel I present very normie, so like I'm like sat here dressed like very normie-ish, right? I've always kind of towed that line because I've not wanted to, I think, really embrace my otherness for reasons that I think the rejection really hurts still. But yeah, I embraced heavy metal. Heavy metal was my jam. Heavy metal was like, you're weird and that's cool. You're angry, that's cool. You're sad, that's cool. That's what we're about, man. Life's hard, you're sad, I'm sad, let's be sad about it. Dope. So I find that. And then when I'm 17, an incredibly formative band was put on my iPod Classic. Yeah, I had one of those iPod Classics, 120 gig. I was a lucky boy. I was very proud of my little iPod Classic. Queens of the Stone Age. Okay, this is a band. This is a band. Those who know Queens of the Stone Age, you get it, okay? But this band tickled a part of my brain that I never thought could be tickled. This band alone is why I got into music. So my brother's really into music, okay? So when I was a kid, my brother, both my brothers were really, really into music. They did so much music. They were like, yeah, man, they make music, they make beats, they're into jungle, they're into like techno, they're into house music, they're into all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm like, ew, gross. No, get that away. Music is bad. I hate music at this point. And then my brother's like, no, dude, it's fine. You said you like metal, you said you like rock. I'm going to like download a bunch of songs off Soulseek, if y'all know about that. That's a file sharing website. And put it on this iPod. Will, you got this iPod on eBay. This is a secondhand iPod Classic. I'll listen to some of the songs on here. And I'm scrolling through. I'm like playing. I'm pressing play, and I'm listening to a song. And I'm like, cool. This is like Iron Maiden, 2 Minutes to Midnight, rock and roll. Let's go. Metallica, One, awesome. Tenacious D, the metal, love it. Right, that's my vibe. And then Songs for the Deaf, The Sky Is Falling. That's the one Queens of the Stone Age song that I had on my iPod Classic. And that song unlocked something in me. Something deep that it spoke to. It spoke to my unaliving experience on such an emotive level. Still to this day, I listen to that song and it just pulls me into this warm, dark blanket of like, we get you, Will. We get you, man. It's the sky's falling, and like that's okay. Come in here and just seep into the blackness. And there's something so deeply comforting about that. And very formative for my music taste. I still listen back to my tracks when I'm making my tracks, and I'm like, whoa. I really like Queens of the Stone Age. I can't get away from it. It's just soaked into my head on such a deep level. And then, of course, as the hungry little outcast that I was and still am, I sought out every single piece of media that ginger, beautiful giant Josh Homme had produced. Every single album from the self-titled to Like Clockwork, which came out around the time, a few years after I initially discovered them. And then now we have Villains, and we have Times New Roman. And all of those albums have hit me for so many different reasons. Like Clockwork, like Vampire Time of Memories, that song just hit me so hard, man. And I think it comes back to the idea of me being strange. Josh is so proudly himself, so proudly, like, he's looted up on like drugs. He has been most of his career, but that man is lucidly Josh Homme, right? That man he's first of all like disgustingly charismatic in my opinion, but also he is so fluid in his self-expression and how he plays guitar. But anyway, Queens of Stone Age, very formative moment for me. This kind of underscores a lot of my exploration of the strange, or what I feel is the strange, the outcast energy forever. And even up to this day, to fast forward now, I've got I Appear Missing playing in my head even while I'm talking about this. And I think about going into a job interview I went recently to my local council. A job at my local council as an employment specialist. Got an interview for it, great. And I feel like I was a fairly good fit for the role. You know what? Logically, I understand why I didn't get it. I showed up late. I said the wrong name for the person who was supposed to be interviewing me. Bad start. So, given the number of applicants in the room, 100% get why I didn't get it. But I have applied for many council jobs historically. I have had many interviews at many council jobs, so it's not like I've been like strict off the board and never walked through the door and spoken to somebody about what I'm about. And I guess for me, I feel like A, I'm generally better in person than I am on applications, and B, I guess there's something about council jobs. There's a stability to it that I yearn for, but there's also I always feel like it's a real rejection of the outcast will whenever I don't get those jobs. And it really cuts at my core, and that's why I'm kind of bringing this up today. That these like ideas and themes that we notice, that I notice in myself anyway, play out in really interesting ways forever. And it's going to play out forever in a lot of different ways that I can't even perceive right now. But I guess that's all part of riding the wave of who we are. That's where I'm going to leave it today. I'm strange. I've been Will. You've been wonderful. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.